This is one of them places where every time you turn your head, there's beauty there. And you don't even have to look for it, it just jumps out at you.
What's for supper?
That was our hunt.
We should be 400 yards to him anyway.
It's As It Happens. It's 100% real, and it starts now.
Welcome to another Bob Folkrad's hunting adventure. This week we're going to Alaska to hunt mountain goat with my friend Hans. Been up there several times. In fact, I've got another one booked this year. I told him when I says I turned 70 years old, I'm coming back and hunting another one. You're sitting on a very super comfortable boat. You take the little skiffs in, you make a climb, and if you're lucky, guess what? You'll come back down with your goat. And then, as we were sitting on the boat after my kill, we looked out the window and there's a Sitka deer. Guess what? It was part of my obsession quest. A couple hours later, we had him in salt on the boat. So sit back and watch another fantastic trip from Bob Folkrad's Hunting Adventures in Alaska. People take cruises just to see a glacier like this. They spend as much for a cruise as what we do for a goat hunt. They don't get this close. We're right in its face. Little pieces break off and it sounds just like thunder going off. It's gorgeous. Hunting mountain goats was on my list for my obsession quest, and sometimes you just have to go back and do things again. Not because I wasn't successful, because I was successful. 4 years ago, almost to the day, when I was on this trip before, same trip, left Del Mar, went to Detroit, Minneapolis, to Anchorage, and Anchorage into Juneau, and that's where Hans picks me up, and we go to his boat, and it all depends on the weather and everything, but about an 8-hour ride just to get here. And there's places that you go that sometimes you have to look around just to see the beauty. This isn't one of those places. It's a true adventure. Coming up through the water, looking up at the mountains on both sides, looking for the mountain goats or watching the glaciers fall. It's a constant adventure from the time you leave home.
Well, we're going to be there in another hour or so, and well, we're going to go right to the spot where you were last time.
Well, I'm ready because I had a great nap. That's all I can say. You've been driving the whole time. I went back to sleep.
Well, I kind of snuck one in too when you had one.
Bob Folkrad and Hans Barkle are on the easy part of this trip. While the sailing is smooth for now, the mountain goats they are hunting inhabit some of the steepest, most difficult terrain imaginable. This is no fun ship cruise. Goat hunting is hard work.
Last time we didn't have the snow on the mountain either. Will that bring them goats down a little bit?
Yeah, Nanny's going to come down with the kids, and Billy will be right after them, you know, because they're rutting pretty good right now.
Really?
Yeah. We'll get up early, about 5 o'clock in the morning, have a big breakfast, head on down there in the skiffs, and have a quick look up there, and then go for it. How's that sound?
Sounds good to me. The game plan is you get up in the morning, a nice breakfast, and it's still dark out, and it was kind of raining a little bit, and Wes has to drop us off. One of the things that really impressed me, I guess, is when you're in that little skiff and you're getting close to where they're going to drop you off, and all that glacier ice, and sometimes it's just packed right in there, and you're just going through there real slow, and you know you're not traveling hard enough to poke a hole into it, but it's in the back of your mind. You know, it's quite a climb just to get up there, and of course you're looking for, you know, Billy. Both the Billy and the nannies both have horns on, and Hans cleared that up back at the boat. He had found a couple of winter kills and went over that with me, and you know, that's his expertise, you know. You know, this is definitely our Billy.
Yeah, that's about a 10-year-old Billy. You know, judging by the, it's about 10 inches. And that's a nanny. You know, you look at him, you see the difference. You know, the Billy has a lot
thicker,
larger basis, you know, whereas the nanny is long and slender, you know. And they have a little curve, a little hook towards the end, where the Billy has a gradual, you know, pretty much a gradual arc. And the nannies always have and they usually have a little wider spread too, sometimes. Sometimes they point out, you know.
One of the things that's just through conservation all by itself, it shows that, you know, Hans has been in business since 1987, so it shows if you hunt the animals right, and you know, the animals in this particular valley, I mean, they're here, and you're choosy on which ones you have, you know, they'll be here for a long time after we're gone.
And we got a shooter 600 yards away. All we gotta do is cut it in half.
Bob Folkrod's Hunting Adventures is brought to you by these fine sponsors: Vortex, Kinatrek, Kufaru, and Buck Fever Synthetics.
For the love of mud, gravel, and trail dust. For the love of farm roads, dirt roads, and no roads. For the love of hunting, fishing, and working the land. For the love of conservation, preservation, and restoration. Introducing Tracker off-road vehicles, designed and built on American soil for kicking up American soil. Tracker off-road, built for love of country.
There's a place where speed bumps don't exist, and donuts are served fresh every morning. Welcome to Muscleville, a Dodge owner's paradise. The only dating is speed dating. The mayor is this guy, and the town square is a straightaway. Head to Muscleville, where every day is a performance day.
Closed captioning has been provided by Swarovski Optic. Today's gearbox includes Redhead Extreme Elements Park and Pants, Browning A-Bolt 300 Win Mag, Winchester Nosler Ballistic Tip Ammo, Sims TrueGlow Limb Saver Recoil Pad, and XPS Power Dry Thermals.
You know, it's quite a climb just to get up there, and if you get a little stiff and a little sore, all you have to do is turn around and look backwards, and you're constantly just looking downhill, seeing that glacier, and it brings you back to reality again. You're trying to make time, you know, especially in the cool of the day in the morning, with all the thermals are coming down the hill, and just about the time we get to where we want to be.
And we got a shooter 600 yards away. All we gotta do is cut it in half. You know, we can take 200 yards off anyway. He's looking at him right now. He's glassing him. We don't know how big he is. Is that the one we're looking for?
Well, I know there's another one, but he walked down, and I can't get too far over because the nanny's looking our way.
Yeah.
So I need to come around here where I can get a better look where I'm not exposed. I see one halfway decent one, you know, but there's a better one. We need to find him first.
We top this next ridge, we should be 400 yards to him anyway. He went a long ways, didn't he?
Yeah. Time-wise, it'd be pretty marginal right now. 1 o'clock. Well, we had enough time for him. Takes a while to get up there.
Yeah, 500. But tomorrow's another day.
Yeah, well, today our faces are as long as the goats got away.
They might have given us the slip, but it's been a good day.
I'm pulling my rifle off and getting my pack down. He knows he's had.
He's close to 9. Oh, yeah. You ready, Hans?
Yeah.
Okay, here we go.
Transportation for all of Bob Folkrod's hunting adventures is provided by Victor Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram.
You know, some places in the world when you go on a hunt, you have to kind of look for the beauty of whatever Mother Nature's thrown at you. It could be cactus, it could be sand, you know, the flowers, but this isn't one of those places. This is one of them places where every time you turn your head, there's beauty there. And you don't even have to look for it, it just jumps out at you.
What's for supper?
That was our hunt for today. We'd kind of blown everything out of there. But we're coming down and looking at the side of the mountain and looking at the glaciers. And Hans goes, there's a goat right there, you know. And next thing you know, we're scrambling around and trying to get in position. And
He's upper 8. Yeah. He's close to 9. Oh, yeah. This is gorgeous. Oh, yeah, he's gonna go right up there, nice.
Not bad, not bad. It's your call.
Okay. You ready, Hans?
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. Oh. Safety was on. Let him walk up a little more.
Nice body on him, so it's your call, bud.
Okay. All right, here we go.
He's gonna fall now.
Yeah, here we go.
Maybe he'll walk down.
He ain't gonna walk down, he's gonna fall down. He's gonna come right to us.
There you go.
All right. I couldn't resist it. I couldn't resist it. Now look at that. Sun shining right on him. That's beautiful. That's, God, that's beautiful.
Not a good job, huh?
Huh?
For you, good shooting.
I'll tell you what. I mean, how do you look at that? Look at that glacier in the back. I mean, it's just like I was here yesterday, 4 years ago, almost to the day. That one up there gave us a slip. A lot bigger Billy. Beautiful body on him. Beautiful day, good shot. I'm telling you.
One shot. That's all it took.
That's what adventures are made of right there.
That just shows you how quickly things can turn back around. And bingo, we got our goat.
There he is right there.
Oh, man.
Oh, I tell you folks, right there is one heck of an adventure right there. People take boats up and watch the glaciers, and we get a chance not only to see the glaciers, but to walk right next to them and then get up on top and look down onto them. And
Look at that
right here's
cave.
an icing in the cake. I'll be the first one to tell you, I like to whack animals, but boy, when you put all that adventure together and make a good shot like that, and right there, it's an adventure. That's all I can say.
Took some pictures and reminisced, and you know, and it was within a day of when I had got my goat the first time I was up here. In fact, right then I made plans to come back. I said, you know what, Hans? I says, you haven't seen the last of me yet. I said, why don't we just book another one of these when I turn 70 and come back up here? Geez, there's a bear. And he starts grabbing for the binoculars and looking, and he goes, that ain't a bear. He says, that's a blacktail.
The deal of the week is brought to you by Victor Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. Check them out at victorcdjr.com.
You all know I get my trucks at Victor Chevrolet, but when it comes to my wife's vehicle, we always shop at Victor Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. I trust them. You should too.
Introducing a boat built on tradition. Delivering a lifetime of fishing adventures. Inspiring the next generation. A boat, motor, and trailer package for everyone. The Bass Tracker Classic. The tradition continues. See it at your nearest Tracker Boats dealer.
All right, when you see me coming home, my Kenetrek boots are going to be in a bag like this because, number one, they're soiled, they're dirty. So once I get them back home, obviously they look like that, you know. Actually, they're not too bad. Well, the first thing I do is I take these strings right out of them. Right boot, right string. So I put that over my chair right there because, I don't know, just because those shoestrings get a set into them, I put them back in the same boot. I don't know if you can see that, you know, but that's starting to get a little frayed on the end, which sometimes makes that hard to go back in again. So we go steal the fingernail polish, clear fingernail polish. That hardens that back up again and makes it easier to put back in again. Okay, now what I do is I'm going to take these in, fortunate enough to have a great big old sink. I'm going to go in there and I use Dawn dish detergent, hot water, brush. And I scrub these things up and try to get absolutely all the dirt back off them again. And just sit there and let these dry now. You might find something better, but this has really worked out great. It's a waxy, it puts the color back into it and it gives it a waterproofing. And I don't have a dime invested in sharing that with you. It's just something that happens to really work good for me. I use a toothbrush to put it on. I make sure I get it under all the places where them shoelaces are gonna go. So I say boots are expensive. How that's soaked in now.
I mean, obviously on the rubber it hasn't, but that's okay because I want some of that on the rubber. Because then I take a regular shoe brush, take some, I find they go back in easier when you spray them down with a little powder. You can see how it turns them nice and white inside. A little powder in there even makes them smell good, and I guarantee you wouldn't do that before I cleaned them. Left boot, left shoestring. See how that's all hardened up? These should go in there pretty good now. Back in the same spot. You take what was left, and I put some of that on them shoestrings. At least 12 sheep hunts on that boot. Put it this way. At least 12 successful sheep hunts. That got a wax onto them, and it's kind of, so I don't want that to soil my brand new clothes that I'm going, so I put them back in the bag. And I can honestly say, man, them Can-A-Track boots have really, really taken care of me well. Especially when you've been on as many sheep hunts, or just hunts in general, is what I have. There you have it. I'm ready to go on the next hunt. And guess what? The next hunt is going to be another sheep hunt up in Alberta in September. So you take care of your boots and they'll take care of you. Thank you, Can-A-Track, for making a great, great boot. And that, my folks, is the tip of the day.
Now it's time for a closer look. Moments in the field that only multiple cameras can reveal. Now, let's take a closer look at how Bob Folkrod saves the shot after a common hunting mistake. The goat is just in range, but moving in hilly terrain. A step in the wrong direction, and the hunt is over.
Okay.
Undaunted, Bob takes his time
Ready,
and waits
Hans?
for the shot.
Okay, here we go.
Bob squeezes the trigger. Uh-oh, he forgot the safety. That may blow the whole hunt. Bob stays calm, though, and refocuses his attention on the task at hand. Good shot. Calm under pressure. That's the mark of a true hunter. Bob Folkrod.
We're sitting on the boat the next day, and I'm playing solitary, and Hans is over there getting ready for supper. And he looks out and he goes, geez, there's a bear. He starts grabbing for the binoculars and looking, and he goes, that ain't a bear. He says, that's a blacktail.
Really? Can we hunt them?
Well, I got tags.
I'm getting it. I'm getting it.
Bob's obsession quest is an attempt to take all of North America's big game animals within 5 years, and all with a Browning firearm. The black-tailed Sitka is on the list, and when preparation meets opportunity, Bob reacts.
There he is, right up on land.
Keep across the creek. Now we gotta stay on this side.
Yeah.
It's kind of hard to cross. Unbelievable. That's the first time I ever seen one. We probably can get closer.
Okay, let's get closer.
the edge of the grass against the trail. How far? 324.
Let him stop once.
319.
Oh.
$293. You hit him.
Yeah, he's hit.
He stopped.
And he laid down. That first one really whacked him hard. And I think I missed him once. We got ourselves a Sitka deer down. How about that? That's pretty deep. That's pretty awesome right there. All we got to do is get across the creek.
Yeah, we might have to get back to the skiff and go the other side.
Yeah.
Because we can't cross here.
I tell you what, you're making spaghetti sauce, I'm playing solitary, and you look out the window and there's a deer walking down the beach.
I thought it was a bear first, you know, because you see bears here occasionally, you know, this time of year. But God, that it was a deer, that just blew my mind. Unbelievable.
Excellent. Look at that, my friends, huh? That's pretty neat. That's some real icing on the cake right there, a black-tailed deer. I mean, the only reason I had tagged in my pocket was we was headed to Kodiak after this hunt.
It's unbelievable.
I don't know what you call goat and blacktail, but I can tell you one thing, old Hans can make up some pretty good meals with that combination. Has he seen the last of me? No. The adventure, the beauty, it's always there staring at you someplace. And then the goats, that's just extra icing on the cake. And then when you throw that blacktail up there, that was putting candles on this cake.
For help with all of your hunt booking needs, contact J&M Safaris at jnmsafaris.com. After your successful hunt of a lifetime, contact Wes Good at canadistudio.com for the finest taxidermy in the business. Be sure to follow Bob and all his adventures at bobfolkrod.com/TV and facebook.com/bfolkrod. And don't forget to hit the like button.